If you feel like you're stuck in a rut and your magic just isn't working, then it's probably not your power. It's more likely your data. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 journaling techniques that you can use to improve your spell crafting simply by getting to know more about how you're doing spells, what you're feeling when you're doing spells. All of this goes on in your magical journal. My name is Sandra. I have been on the witchcraft path for over 35 years now. I'm the author of Crafting Your Awaken Path, and I help people like you awaken your inner witch so that you can practice the craft with clarity and with confidence. And one of the ways to practice the craft is to get to know yourself more, and your journal is where you do that. Now, you've probably seen a lot of information out there on witchcraft, and it can be really confusing, especially if you're just starting out, or maybe you've been wanting to start for a while and you start and you stop and you start and you stop because you're just confused about all of the information out there. I do have a free masterclass called How to Start Your Witchcraft Practice, and in that masterclass, it's going to set you straight about what's actually keeping you stuck, why you're stuck, and what you can actually do about it to become unstuck and actually start practicing the craft right away. That's How to Start Your Witchcraft Practice. There's a link in the description field below this video, and you can also find it on my website, mysterywitchschool.com. Now, in this video, I want to show you how to cleanse your journal and consecrate your journal so that it becomes something very magical and very personal to you, and then give you the 3 different ways you can work with your journal to help your spell casting. So the first thing is, journals are not the same thing as a book of shadows. Your book of shadows, and I have one of mine here. I have books of shadows, plural. This is one of my early ones. In my book of shadows, I put down my spells, the actual spell itself, a list of correspondences such as the herbs and the crystals and the colors and anything to do with magic that is technical, I put in my book of shadows. I also put in the rituals, so the Sabbath rituals, for example, the lunar rituals, all of those go in the book of shadows, and anything that corresponds to magic, like magic how to do magic, how to do witchcraft. All of those things go in my book of shadows. The chants go in there, all of that kind of thing goes in there. Your journal is different. Your journal is your personal journey through the craft. This is where you write down your desires for your spell casting, what it is you want and why you want it, so that you can narrow it down and get clear about what it is you're truly wanting. Where you can write down your experiences of spell casting. You can write down the signs and symbols that you get along the way as your magic is starting to unfold, so that you can get clear about how magic presents itself to you. And also to learn about how you're becoming more perceptive and more intuitive towards magic and the world around you. This all goes on in your journal, so it's very, very magical. So the first thing we're going to do is consecrate the journal to make it sacred. Now, I have here my magical journal, and I'm going to consecrate it again for you. I've already consecrated it, obviously. But what I'm going to do is consecrate it with the 4 elements. I've got the element of fire, the element of air, earth, and water. So I'm going to light the candle. I light the incense from the candle. So the first thing I do is consecrate the water and the salt. The salt goes first. I cleanse and consecrate this salt so that it will serve me in my work, remove all malefic energy and replace with benefic energy. And when I put my hand over the salt, I'm just allowing the energy from the palm of my hand to go into the salt with the intention of consecrating it. I then take the salt and I pour it into the water. And as I do so, I say, I cleanse and consecrate this water so that it may serve me in my work, remove all malefic energy and replace with benefic energy. Now, being a book, you don't want to saturate it with water, obviously. So I'm just going to sprinkle the smallest amount of water onto my book to consecrate it with the element of earth, which is the salt, and water, which is the element of water, of course. I cleanse and consecrate my magical journal so that it will serve me in my work. Remove all malefic energy and replace with benefic energy. And I do the same with the incense. I run the book through the incense. I cleanse and consecrate this sacred journal so that it may serve me in my work, remove all malefic energy and replace with benefic energy. I then run it through the fire as well. Now, obviously, being a book, you don't want to set it on fire, so you want to make sure that it's a long way from the flames. So be very, very careful with this when you consecrate with fire. I consecrate this sacred journal to serve me in my work, remove all malefic energy and replace with benefic energy. Now, as you're doing those consecrations, you can imagine the energy is coming from the fire and the candle and the smoke from the incense, and it's cleansing the journal and making it sacred. You could imagine that there's energy coming up from the candle, from the heat of the candle. You could see it as a golden energy, and the incense you could see as the smoke. It could be a beautiful blue energy that you see from the incense. Now that you've cleansed and consecrated your journal, it's time to actually start using it. Now, your journal is going to be used for planning your spells and also reflecting on your spells. So the first way you can use your journal for your spell casting is to write down the date, what phase the moon is in, what sign the moon is in, as in astrological sign. Write down your desire and why you want your desire. What's the reason for the spell? So write down what your desire is. For example, it could simply be, I want a higher paying job. Great. How much of a higher paying job do you want? Okay, do you want to earn $6,000 a month, $10,000 a month? What is it you're actually wanting to earn on a monthly basis or a yearly basis, for example? So figure out how much you actually want to earn. Not just how much you need to earn, but how much you actually want to earn to thrive. If it's a relationship, do the same thing. What type of relationship do you want? Do you want friendship? A lot of people do spells for friends now because it's hard to find friends because we live in an online world. Or do you want to find a romantic partner? What is it you want? And then write down why you want it. Why do you want the higher paying job, for example? What's the reason for it? Well, the reason is probably money, right? Okay, the money is the reason. What does money mean to you? And think about, well, what does money mean to me? Does it mean just paying bills and paying rent? Or does it mean something else? You might have negative beliefs about money, like money is the root of all evil, or spiritual people shouldn't want money, all of that kind of stuff. But when it comes to your spell, what do you think the money's going to give you? Because that's really what you need to be thinking about money. So if you think that money is going to give you more freedom, it's going to give you more choices, then write that down and look at the word money and feel the word money as meaning to you freedom and choices, so that you're having a positive experience of the meaning of money. The same with a relationship. What's the reason for you wanting a relationship? Is it because you want to love and be loved? Is it because you want companionship? Is it because you want to share something with somebody? What are all the reasons? And then pick the reason that really stands out to you and make that reason the meaning of a relationship for the sake of this spell. So it turns out to be that I'm doing a spell to find a higher paying job because I want more freedom and choices. So this spell means to me more freedom and choices. If it's a relationship because you want to share your life with somebody, then I want a romantic relationship so that I can share my life with someone. And then after you've written that in your journal, write down how that's going to make you feel. How does it feel to have more freedom and choices? What's it going to feel like? Probably a relief. It's going to probably feel good. How is it going to feel when you get the relationship? That's going to feel good too. But rather than just thinking, oh, it's going to feel good, experience how you would feel it so that you can get an idea of what it feels like. So when you come to do the spell, you're bringing that feeling into the spell. And you're also bringing the definition of money into the spell, so that's a positive one, and the definition of a relationship into the spell, so that it's a positive one as well. And take note of the moon cycle and the moon sign. The moon goes into different signs roughly every 2.5 days. So sometimes if you're really wanting to get really strong magic, especially if it's in like relationships, you might want the moon in Venus, for example. If you're wanting to expand your income, you might want the moon in Jupiter. But another reason why knowing the moon sign is helpful to you is so that you can gauge how you're feeling on that day, because the moon does govern our feelings. The second way to use your journal is to keep it as a tracker. So every few days, just notice things around you. Do things seem different in some way? Have you noticed any signs that your magic may be working? For example, are you inspired to take action in some way? Have you got a creative idea? Did someone ring you up and invite you to a party or a meetup? Have you got more job options and more job interviews starting to align for you? Or are you being attracted to better paying jobs as you're doing your job search, for example? Write all of these things down, because these are signs that the magic is working. They're little signs and you normally wouldn't see them as signs, but write them down because it'll make you more confident in your magic, and it shows you that the magic is actually doing something. Even though the result hasn't arrived yet, the magic is doing its thing and it's getting the wheels in motion. So write down all of the things you take notice of, any symbols that you see. For example, angel numbers, you might see, 333 or 777 around the place. You might see 222s if you're doing love magic, for example. You may see 888s if you're doing magic or money. Look for signs and take notice of what comes up in your social media feeds if anything jumps out at you that could be related to your spell casting. And the third thing to do is to write down all of your beliefs around the spell itself and your ability to have what it is that you want. Now, when you first go to do your spell and you're writing in your journal why you want the spell to be successful, what the outcome is, why you want it, how it's going to make you feel, you might at that stage even come across some resistance to believing that you can have what it is that you want. It's important to write down any of the resistance in your journal so that you can see it. That's all you're doing when you're writing it down. You're not making it happen. You're just writing it down so you can see it. And when you can see it, you can change it. So if your spell is something that's tricky for you, maybe you've tried a lot of love magic in the past and it just hasn't worked very well. Maybe this is your 20th job spell or income growing spell, and you're just thinking, nothing's really worked for me yet. It's really important for these type of spells to write down what your thoughts are and what your beliefs are around your ability to have a higher paying job, your ability to have the successful relationship that you want to have. When you see them, you can change them. And you can do that through using various different mind changing techniques such as NLP, emotional freedom technique, or tapping, which is what I use. I do have a tapping channel. So just look up Sandra Inman Tapping on YouTube and you will find my tapping channel, which has all of the beliefs that you could possibly have that might be stopping you from having successful spell casting, and how you actually change those beliefs. But put all of this information in your journal, and what will happen is you get to know who you are. You get to know what makes you tick. You get to know why you're struggling with your magic. It all starts to come to your attention, and when you can see it, you can actually do something about it. What your journal will also show you is how magic is actually working in the background. You just haven't noticed it. And it will help you get clear about your spell casting, what it is you want, why you want it, and how to connect with the meaning of what it is that you want so that you can be very clear about the result. Are you tired of scrolling through Google, AI even, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, only to feel lost and confused about your witchcraft practice? It's exhausting trying to figure it out all by yourself. I found that way back in the day, before Google, before YouTube, before Instagram, before any of the social media. All I had was books, and I was confused then. So I could imagine how confused I would be now. Now, the Mystery Witch School 101 gives you a complete guided system in not only to know how to practice magic and do rituals, but also how to connect with deity, how to connect with yourself and awaken your inner witch and step into your witch identity easily, effortlessly, and confidently. You'll get to grow your spiritual practice in a community of like-minded people. And you'll have me as your mentor as well. So you can stop guessing and start creating a beautiful, magical witchcraft practice. There's a link to the Mystery Witch School 101 Academy in the description field below this video, and you can also find it on my website, mysterywitchschool.com. Let me know in the comments field which one of those journaling techniques or processes really resonates with you and which one you're going to use next, or are you going to use all three of them next? If you like the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe. I will see you on the next one. Blessed be.